all, welcome to the IEP meeting for Kevin. Let's start by going around the room and introducing ourselves. I'm Taylor and I'm Kevin's special education teacher. I work with him when he's in the special education classroom throughout the school day. I've enjoyed having him in class and getting to know him.
Hi, my name is Anna and I'm Kevin's general ed teacher. Although I do not see Kevin as often as the special ed teacher, I work with him in our digital communication class one-on-one. He has been very successful, and one of my goals is to hopefully enroll him in more of the general ed classes. I also overlook how well he works with others and evaluate him throughout the day.
Hi, my name is Julie. I'm the local psychologist, and I work one-on-one with Kevin to monitor his mental well-being and to see how he's doing in different social environments, including his home and his school.
Hi, I'm Isabel. I'm Kevin's occupational therapist. Right now, Kevin comes to see me at least twice a week for 30 minutes. His mom also sometimes schedules consultation visits with me if she has certain things that she wants Kevin to work on.
Hey, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the local PT who gets to work with Kevin once a week. My job is to help Kevin with his motor skills and strengthen his muscles, with independence being our final goal.
I'm Morgan, and I'm Kevin's speech language pathologist. I work with Kevin a few times a week to help him work towards better communication skills, especially with his classmates and his teachers, so he can be more involved in school.
I'm Kohler. I'm Kevin's mom. My son Kevin is 18 and he attends a neighborhood high school. We're currently entering the transition phase, so I've requested this IEP meeting. Kevin has significant intellectual disabilities. He has spastic quadriplegic cerebral palsy and uses a manual wheelchair for mobility. These are Kevin's specialists and teachers, and together we're going to figure out a plan for Kevin after he graduates high school.
Thanks everyone for introducing yourselves. So I'll start the meeting by sharing Kevin's strengths in the special education classroom. His strengths include interacting with others, music, computers, and horticulture. He's able to stay focused on a task for more than 20 minutes when he receives occasional verbal redirection. Throughout his time in high school, Kevin has gained skills to operate switch-activated devices such as button makers and blenders. In the special education classroom, he is motivated to do his best and to please his teachers. He enjoys going to school and is eager to learn new skills. I believe that it will be best for Kevin to remain at the high school until he's 21. However, once he graduates, I believe that post-secondary education will be very beneficial to him. I think that he would continue to enjoy learning and that he would be successful at a community college in the city. Throughout the school day, Kevin will be in the general education classroom for his digital communications course. In this course, he will receive one-on-one instructional assistance. In addition to the digital communications course, Kevin will eat lunch with the general student body. Kevin will be in the special education classroom for the rest of the day, which includes his classes of literacy, math, and science. In addition to these classes, he will receive vocational skills training and daily living skills training in the special education classroom. Once he graduates, he will earn the occupational course of study, which is a state-endorsed curriculum for students with disabilities leading to a high school diploma. Now that I've wrapped that up, let's hear from Kevin's general education teacher, Anna.
Okay, so a few things that I have observed is that he really enjoys working with people. He enjoys interacting with them, listening to music, computers, and different types of activities in order to have the opportunity to complete a project. A few of my goals that I have for Kevin is participation in academic curriculum, also possibly meeting with a job coach in a classroom in community settings. I think it's important, as he is a senior in high school and graduating soon, to maintain a bank account and have different responsibilities. Also, maybe complete an application for a job, as he will be expected to work once he completes high school. Also, a big goal is to help him be included in senior events like high school dances, make sure he's included in the cafeteria. I think that's the most important thing for Kevin, is that he interacts with other students and his friends.
Thanks, Anna. Now we'll move on to Kevin's psychologist, Julie.
Hey there. So with Kevin and I, we work one-on-one very closely with each other. Like I said, I typically monitor his mental well-being and success. As his teacher stated, Kevin is very motivated in school, which is great. He always demonstrates that high level of motivation and always is very eager to learn new tasks and new skills. I keep in close contact with his teachers and as well as his school counselor to keep up with how he's doing at school, not only with his academics, but socially as well. we all believe that post-secondary education is or could be very beneficial for Kevin, and that he could be very successful going to a local community college and having a similar one-on-one instruction as he does now. Recently, Kevin has received state-level mental health funding for personal care, which also includes 10 hours of one-on-one community service for 4 years. And this federal funding, or mental health funding, also led Kevin to get approved for Medicaid waiver-funded services. And although there's an array of services based on individual needs, Kevin does not receive and has not been referred for any other services other than mental health services, specifically one-on-one services with myself. Our main goals are to work closely with Kevin's parents and plan to work with them to obtain guardianship, since Kevin has now turned 18, as we all know. And another big goal of mine is that because Kevin is now 18, and he'll be graduating in a few years from high school, going off to college, or going to a career, we really want to start focusing on those vocational training and getting him prepared mentally for the workforce and just for that higher level education. I want to make sure that he'll be very confident and very successful with his schoolwork and with being an active part of the community.
Great. Next, let's hear from Isabel, Kevin's occupational therapist.
Okay, so right now Kevin comes to see me 2 or 3 times a week for about 30 minutes. And his consultation visits that I mentioned earlier usually pertain to his assistive technology that he uses for communication. We have recently evaluated what devices that Kevin should use that would be good for home and in the community or in school. He's working with his speech language pathologist, Morgan, also to learn how to use those devices. I also work with Anna, Kevin's general ed teacher, to develop vocationally related activities. Currently, in the past couple months, Kevin has been learning how to use a picture symbol calendar and schedule with Velcro, and we can mount it on the wall to help Kevin plan out his schedule for self-care and employment, educational, and recreational activities. And we have one physical prompt per activity to place the picture symbol on the schedule. I've also used a modified picture interest inventory to find out that Kevin really likes working with other people, and it's like Taylor said, also music, horticulture, computers, and also clerical type activities. And along with his psychologist, we've been working on not only mentally preparing him for a job, but also I've taught him, or a goal will be in the future to teach him different job tasks, such as things that you need to do with working in an office. So that is our next goals for Kevin.
Thanks, Isabel. Now let's move on to Jacqueline, Kevin's physical therapist.
Okay, so I meet with Kevin right now about once a week for 30 minutes. We're currently working on his motor skills and strengthening his muscles. In our sessions, we like to work to maintain and improve his strength and flexibility. The main overall goal we're working towards is independence through mobility, strengthening his muscles, improving movements of all his body parts, and we work on stretching to prevent any stiffness he may have. We normally start out our sessions by making sure that his trunk support and subbasis bar on his wheelchair are comfortable and still providing him with the adequate help he needs as he grows. We then like to move on to his hand movements and his motor skills. He has more mobility of his right hand than his left hand, but we're working on grasping objects together with both hands and working with them united. Currently, his FAOs are helping him with stability whenever we do any standing exercises, and we'll continue to work with those. As I said, we only meet for about 30 minutes once a week, and I would love to see him more. I believe that would help us see a bigger change in his strength overall and his motor skills. Maybe twice a week would be ideal. If we're looking into any future for him for transitioning and independence, a motorized wheelchair would be ideal. I know that's out of the question right now, but I believe that's a goal we should aim for him to be more independent.
Great. Next, let's move on to Kevin's speech language pathologist, Morgan.
I get to be with Kevin about twice a week, and each time I see him is for about 30 minutes. And he currently has a little understandable speech. He just says a few words, or he says yes or no responses when he's asked questions in class. However, we have used a communication device called the I Talk To in the past. He uses to communicate specific needs or choices, like in a classroom setting. But now Kevin is beginning to use a new device known as a Go Talk To Plus, which serves the same purpose as the old device. He currently does not use a communication device at home, but he does have a picture board that he sends home he goes home with it, he goes in his community. And so right now I'm working along Isabel, his OT, as she mentioned that we're going through some argumentative communication evaluations to help with the selection of a new appropriate device that he can use at school and as well as home.
Great. Now that we've heard from everyone, let's see if Kevin's mom, Kohler, has any questions.
I do have some questions, actually. So first, Taylor, the special education teacher. Kevin's special education teacher administered the supports intensity scale to his father and I. Can you please describe the point of this test and our results and how they relate to his post-graduation life?
Yes, so the assessment indicated that Kevin would need regular and extensive support in all areas of adult life to achieve his post-school goals. In addition, he will need protection and advocacy services for managing money, legal issues, self-advocacy, and protection from exploitation.
Thank you. Okay, next I'd like to ask Anna, the general education teacher. Which of these you said earlier that you had talked about some goals that you had set for Kevin. So which of these goals have you achieved, and how do you plan to achieve the rest?
I plan, by achieving the goals, I hope to do progress reports on him daily, just through his participation in academic curriculum, applications especially, working on how to do that. I am going to hold a progress report and make sure that he shows me his application.
Awesome. Okay, next, Julie, the psychologist, I have a question for you. How's Kevin doing in his one-on-one sessions? I'm worried mostly about his self-esteem being affected by his peers. Can you go into more depth about your discussions based on this?
I feel that during our one-on-one sessions, Kevin is always very open, or as open as he can be, with the way that he's typically feeling, especially while at school. Usually we will talk mostly about how he's doing in school because that takes up most of his daily and weekly activities. And as we said before, he's very motivated. He's doing great with his academics, which is very encouraging for him, as well as I think all of us. It encourages us to keep pushing him forward to that success. He seems very happy. He seems like he's getting along with the other students very well. That his other teachers and other therapists are all very supportive of him in the same way, as well as the students are all very supportive of him. For example, how he's included in certain activities at school or eating in the lunchroom. I think he really enjoys having that independence to be with his peers rather than to always be secluded, from everyone else because he typically is in the special education classroom for the day. So overall, I think that he has a very good mental health right now. He seems very happy, and unless there's any other behavioral issues or maybe some, things that go on behind closed doors at home, I don't think that we have any reason for concern for him.
Awesome, thank you. Next, Isabel, occupational therapist. I have a few questions. What skills have you and Kevin been working on in occupational therapy?
We have been working on using his picture calendar to plan out a schedule. We really want to work with Kevin on his self-care and self-hygiene. So using those pictures to plan out a schedule lets Kevin know that it is important that we follow that schedule and follow through with those things. We also have just started working on job skills, so he has showed interest in clerical type skills. So we've learned stapling. We've learned one of y'all said earlier, button making. We've done that because he works in a school library too. I think he has been working at a school library for a little bit, so he's gained those skills, which I've like helped him use the skills he already has to learn new skills. And also like he has showed interest in horticulture, so we have done a little bit with learning about plants.
Gardening, etc. Makes sense. Okay. I have one more question for you. We've been coming back to occupational therapy a few times a week. So do you feel that the frequency of these appointments is still beneficial, or do you think that we should decrease or increase the amount of these appointments?
Right now, since we only meet for 30 minutes twice a week, I feel it could be beneficial while he's in this critical transition period and learning these job skills, that it could be beneficial to increase either twice a week for an hour or maybe 3 times or 4 times a week for still 30 minutes, depending on his attention span. So we can discuss which of those options would be best for Kevin.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. The next question I have is for Jacqueline, the physical therapist. What exercises can we be doing at home, if any?
I just think any sort of exercise while he's at home and not really in the stressor of being in a one-on-one environment. Maybe set aside times for like family game night, family activities that encourage him to interact and use those different muscles. I also believe Kevin has a little sister. You can encourage them to like play for 30 minutes at a time. Any of this is positive work for Kevin, where he's not mentally stressing himself out and overthinking the use of his muscles. That he'll be more focused on like the family fun and the good times and worrying about that. So I think that'd be great.
Okay, thank you. Last question is for Morgan, speech pathologist. How does eating work at school, and is it successful?
We're obviously still using the gastronomy tube that he had placed in, but now he's starting to take some pureed foods, which I'm sure he'll do a little bit at home, but just in some limited amount. He can now feed himself with a CP feeder, but I closely monitor him personally, and in therapy we work on him chewing slowly, because if he doesn't, he can choke very easily. I also get to go lunch with him a few times a week, and not only does this give me a chance to monitor his eating, but we also can promote conversation between him and his classmates, because he is still having issues of not speaking as much, and so I think this will really help with his issue with his minimal responses.
Awesome. That's all the questions I have. Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. To conclude this meeting, let's all sign the documentation of attendance.
Fancy signatures.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh. What?